Yo, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. Alright, good morning. It is early. I'm barely awake. But what are we doing? More videos. So, this was requested multiple times by the same person. But I think two people actually did request Rocafort. So, this is Kenneth Rocafort. And then someone specifically asked for Velocity, which I had never seen these before, but these are great. And it's going to be a lot of fun. When it was opening, I was like, oh man, this is really, really cool stuff. It reminds me a tiny bit of Eric Canetti back when he was doing like Cybernary and some of the stuff that he did for Wildstorm. He did some Majestic issues. And Canetti's great, and Rocafort is great in his own ways. But yeah, this should be really, really fun. The colors are very cool on this piece. Kenneth actually is a great colorist. But yeah, let's get into this. Kenneth's work is very, very detailed. It's very stylized, and there's lots and lots of shapes. So let's do it. Let's go into full screen mode, and bam. So this is kind of cool. The first time that I saw Kenneth's work was, believe it or not, him doing a piece of fan art for a submission for a contest that my comic book that I was working on was having. So I went on a book. The first comic book series that I worked on was Cybernary after Nick Manabat had died. His friend and office mate, Jeff Rebner, did one, I think it was a 6-issue mini-series. And around issue 2 or 3, we held a contest for people to do fan art that would get published, and I think they were going to get like some art from the contest. And Kenneth sent in samples, and they were in the like keeper pile. And what was interesting about the submissions that he sent were he sent 3 pieces, and 2 were original art, and 1 was a photocopy. And we went through them. I don't remember who ultimately won or how it worked out, but this is great. We'll keep moving on. And I've had those pieces ever since, the 2 originals, because none of that stuff was going to be returned. But yeah, it's funny, but I thought they were cool, and I knew where they were going to ultimately end up if someone didn't grab them, which was in the trash, because there was no way that they were going to keep that stuff. It was just a big pile of letters and stuff like that. And so I was like, man, I like these drawings, and we're gonna keep them. So it's funny, I don't even know where they are right now. I haven't seen them in probably 10 or 15 years, but somewhere I do have them. They're a little tiny bit bigger than 11 by 17, and if I come across them, I'll definitely throw them in a video. It's weird, now I'm thinking about it, I have no freaking clue where they are. But yeah, they were hand colored too. He penciled, inked, and hand colored them. But see, I've been a fan and supporter of people trying to break in forever. It was fun. I used to sit with Sarah Becker, and I would look at all the Gen 13 mail, and it was fun, and the fan art was just great. I loved seeing people, no matter what skill level they were at, drawing and sending in stuff that they were passionate about. It was very, very cool. So here, let's focus on Kenneth. So this is definitely early in his professional career. I believe this was from 2007. So my guess is he had probably been working professionally for about 5 years at this point. I could be wrong. I don't know how long it took for him to break in, but I think that contest was in, like, man, 95 or 96. So he may have broke in within a year or two of that. So this could actually even be 9 years into his career. This is great. Yeah, it's just so interesting to me how he chisels out all these shapes. Everything has got like a lot of angles to it, and then he does a lot of sort of blippy, not blip blop lines, but like a lot of like almost like broken lines, little pieces of things. This is great, man. How nice that foot is. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. It's supposed to be on my partner. That's a funny gesture. But you can tell just by these drawings how solid he is and how good he is at sketching. I mean, these are really, really quality drawings. And they're not fussy, but it's all there. I mean, he's got good hands, solid faces. It's a very identifiable style. I have quite a bit of his work floating around in my collection. This is nice. This is good too. This nice torque on her body, how her hips and her butt sit right here, but he really pulls this up. Has the arm going, out away from us and then across. That's really, really nice touch. Bottom of the feet, that's always a class act. I like that though, like when people will turn the feet at interesting angles, because when you that's not a great example. If I spot another one, I'll show you what I mean though. But yeah, sometimes you can put the foot down or try to hide it, and I like people that will find a way to get in. It's funny, he looks a little like Lynch there. This looks a little like Victor Bogdanovic. It's funny. I wonder if Victor was a fan of this. Looks like his, sort of his structure for characters. His velocity is really cool looking. This is a pretty simple page. There was another guy that had a really cool style. Tan and what? He did Doom Patrol for DC and I think a Silver Surfer miniseries, but Tan had a really, really interesting style too. It was kind of like Travis. It was, but more cartoony. This is great. I picture seeing Grifter coming down the waterway. Man, this is awesome. Pretty interesting colors on this too. It's very like an organic approach. It almost looks like markers. I know that it probably isn't, although that would be weird if this is marker. This kind of looks like marker, but this doesn't. Oh, yeah. There'd be some pretty advanced marker coloring if it is. We'll see what the credit is. It looks like an early version of Corel Painter. 2007, I think it was definitely a program. Yeah, this looks digital. It was funny, a little bit of that did actually have a little bit of a traditional media feel. And again, Kenneth is such a good colorist, it wouldn't surprise me. He would definitely go for something like this, but obviously they're not giving him time. This character is very, very cool. Wait till you see as we go through these pages. When he was popping up, I was like, man, that is really, really cool looking. And generally speaking, I'm pretty sure Kenneth inks himself, so it's a lot of work, man. That is a lot of work. Although this looks a little like pencil. Yeah, it's funny. As soon as I said ink, I don't know, that looks inked. But some of this looks like pencil. This kind of looks like pencil to me. This looks like pencil and just darkened. The mystery, yeah, I don't know. I can't guess on it because I don't like to do that over people's art, because eventually I think many people will see these videos, meaning the artists, and like I said, I hate to speculate. The panel borders are clearly inked, but so this looks a little more inked to me, but it's hard to tell. It's a little bit of a darker scan. Really, these scans are a little oversaturated. I can tell just by looking at them. Probably the book looked a little bit more like this. So, and I'll try to watch how much I scroll around. What I try to do is I try to zoom in, but to me this is small. I have a huge monitor and this still feels small to me. I like to go in and really start to look at this stuff and see each panel up close and personal. And again, this is very, very saturated. This is so Kenneth's color palette though. There was tons of green and oranges and stuff like that. Would actually look a little better, be more saturated here though. This looks a little dull. This is cool. Yeah, this has got to be, I'm thinking this is colored in Corel Painter. He may have colored this stuff himself. Some of these palettes are feeling a little Rocafort-y. Yeah, he may have done all the art. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. This is, it would be hard for him to explain his color palette to a colorist. It's wild. When I find those pieces, you'll see what I mean. He uses pretty much every color, but tends to lean towards greens and oranges and yellow. Lello. Look at that. That's nice. Again, the bottom of the feet. Bottom of the feet. That's a great pose. Very cool page. What do you think? Kenneth Rocafort. I know that the guy that's been requesting it is probably doing backflips right now. It's funny though. Okay, so look, I can totally put your myself in all of your shoes if you enjoy these videos, because I do the same thing with guitar videos. Like, there's a couple of channels that I watch, and one of the guys does daily uploads, and I really look forward to his videos. And I kind of bum out if they're shorter. Like if he does like a 9 to 11 minute video, I'm kind of like, oh man. But when I see like a 19 to 25 minute video, I'm like, yes. And he'll talk about like Les Pauls or Fender Strats or whatever it is. I'm just like, it's just geeky good fun. So hopefully these are sort of geeky good fun. And you know, he always has some educational content too. He knows his way around guitars pretty well. So hopefully people seem to appreciate what I try to provide on these videos. And I do think that what I'm going to try to do is maybe next week I'll start breaking down, maybe one day a week we could break down a drawing, like take a drawing like this and kind of find the anatomy on it, look at the foreshortening, try to find the perspective and stuff like that. I think it'll be kind of neat. And I've got a person that's going to be taking lessons, and once we get going with that, he wanted to share the lessons for him. But he's very, very determined to get really, really good at drawing, so hopefully that can help people too. It should be cool. This is great tech, man. This guy's so freaking good. But again, it's like this just kind of evolved into this. I never ever came to YouTube thinking that I would be doing this kind of stuff, but it just happened, and it'll change and grow. I mean, I did probably 150 vlogs and Journey of 1,000 Miles videos. They're not up anymore, but you know, people really like those. They'll come back. Like I said, I've always promised that I'll bring them back. It's just it was weighing the channel down, and it was too hard to find the stuff that people are actually watching more of. It's like I'll have people that love a particular thing of videos that I do, but if they get super low views, it makes it tough to keep doing them, because there is sort of a community aspect to it, you know what I mean? Oh, it's funny because the it's almost the guy's name that so line up by that. Oh, Sunny I'm not sure. So Sunny did really, really good colors, man, and I really feel captured what Kenneth is into. So they must have really collaborated a lot, because this is, again, it's just the little bits and pieces and this kind of stuff, you know. That little bit of purple right there. This is so Kenneth. And that was another idea that I had for a series. And again, the blue, the purple, I mean, all this stuff. This is just, but I thought what a fun series that we could do is like take an artist like Mark Silvestri or whoever, anyone that you can think of. And I've got probably some of their earliest, if not first, professional work. And then we could look at that, and then we'll look at kind of like a peak for them when they got really, really good, and kind of, you know, either look at the early stuff first and then see what carried over into their later work. I thought it would be kind of fun, sort of like a, where did they start, and then where were they at like maximum power, you know, that year where they went to the World Series or the Super Bowl and just like destroyed everything around them. But it's fun to see that first season, you know, when they threw the interception and they struck out and, you know, did whatever. So hopefully, I mean, obviously for them, if they ever see it, they'll probably be kind of uncomfortable, because, you know what I mean, sometimes I think you want that work to just be forgotten. But look, the reality is there's a charm to it. I'm sure I'll say the same thing when I do the videos, just so that they don't completely freak out. Because I would be the same way. It's like someone brings an old sketch to you and go, hey, do you remember drawing this for me 15 years ago? And you're like, oh my god, like, can I just pay you to take it? Hide it forever? Oh, yeah. Oh man, this is cool. The sun is coming out. We're gonna have rain here for like 5 days in a row, and I'm just like, oh god, could it get more miserable? At least when it's sunny out, it feels like a normal day. It's just funny. It almost, if you zoom in close enough, it looks like she's wearing like one of those hats. This is nice. She's cute. These are all really, really good. Cool anatomy here. I like. He's definitely. It's got it down. I'm not sure where Kenneth is from. I'm pretty sure he's from outside the U.S., but I don't know. And he may live in the U.S. now. Wow, that's cool. We definitely need to do an Eric Canetti video. And I'm sure I could drum up some good Eric Canetti stories because he worked at Wildstorm on and off for about a year. And we're pretty good friends. I love Eric. He's really, really good. And he's one of those people that at the time, I didn't really know anyone that drew as much as that guy. Like, he drew when he was working. He drew when he wasn't working. He was sketching when he was on a break. I mean, it was like, man, he was full throttle all the time. Dustin, Wynn, and I used to chat on, I think, AOL Instant Messenger. And Eric and Dustin would come down together from LA, carpool. And it was a really fun time. We had a lot of laughs. Like, they both have the highlight on the nose, and there, and there, and there. You kind of, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but you kind of want to watch stuff like that a little bit. But if it's, I guess if it's the way that you draw the nose, then it's the way that you draw the nose. But the one thing you don't want to do, though, is draw a lot of, like, wrinkles under girls' eyes. It's kind of a bad call. He doesn't do it, but it made me think of that. Like, if you're going to have, like, little ticks in your stuff that you do all the time, yeah, I wouldn't render too much around females' eyes because it will definitely age them. This is great right here. Yes, this is really interesting. Sorry, I don't mean to move too fast. I think that this is pencil. It doesn't look inked. It still looks really cool. The shoes are so loose. Man, this dude was a workhorse. I can't even imagine drawing page after page of this, probably at the rate that he had to do it with this much detail. Although I've done it a million times, at least with the inks, but yeah, this is pencil. It doesn't look bad, though. I mean, I know for people that are really in inks, they probably won't like it, but the drawings are good enough to me that it doesn't really matter. And it gives it sort of a different vibe, which is interesting. Like, that looks really cool. Yeah, he's good. Her tattoo's funny. That's cool. Yeah, it is interesting. He definitely has some, like, Eric Canetti isms. And this is only, I think, well, it might be 4 issues. So we're going backwards. So let's look at the full page. So he's got this nice sweeping shape here. This is good. Pulls you right to her. It's like almost like literally like you're a ball that just rolls down here. He flings you up to this. She's pointing you here. This curves over to here. And this sends you across. And then which way? Up and out. We know this. We've seen it in a million videos now. This is great too. Sometimes people will do interesting things. I mean, you can actually sort of read it this way and then sweep back around. But if you look at these shapes and even how Sunny colored it, he's leading you up to her face. You see? It's you use the costuming and the items that you have to draw. And if those can't help you move through, then you can do it with lighting. Energy, you know, weaponry can help point things. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I almost want to start this page here and read it across this way, even though, I mean, obviously we would want to go left to right. But it works either way, which is fine, you know. Again, there's not rules. There's just sort of helpful things. And this is a pause beat, you know. You're going to stop on this for a moment. It's just, this is facing this way, this is facing this way, and you just stick on the gun. It's really, really nicely done. And then you come down here and you move right through here. This is all pointing you to where we want to be, which is, you know, convenient for a couple of reasons. Obviously, it's a standoff with her, but, you know, you sweep around this way and then you move this way. You know. Most of the objects are sort of like, you know, she's definitely the center of attention. Oh man, this is great. How cool is that? Wow, this is nice. I need to get this original. I wonder where this is. I have a pretty decent Alice in Wonderland collection of art from different artists of like pages that they've done that have stuff like this. Man, this is nice. I might have to ask Kenneth if he still has this. Probably doesn't. It's probably long gone. But you never know. It's really cool. I'd almost want a color print of it too, though. So the colors are so nice. Oh man, that's cool. And what's interesting is you can actually see that this is not drawn as sort of confidently as the stuff that we were looking at first. Because again, we're going backwards through the series. So it's still really, really nicely drawn, but the velocity sort of looks a little different. And you can see he was kind of getting his legs, his like footing with it. Man, this is great though. Man, it's such a nice pose. His stuff is really, really good. Man, this is a lot of stuff here. Let's look at and see how he orchestrated this whole thing. So these two panels almost feel like one because it's a pretty let's see what we got. So this portal sort of opens. Oh, and she's coming through it. So it zooms out, pulls out. She appears. So she appears. Oh, and this is interesting. He's in all, well, these two panels. Looks like, yeah. He stops it. She reacts. She makes a bunch of gestures, then knocks this dude out. And then she's like, oh yeah, maybe I should have called first. And then these dudes show up. It's a little like, where do they come from? But this is still nice. And then this almost feels like part of this, but it's not because it's a foot. And this is this guy's arm. Then we get the big tossle. This has kind of got a buckle vibe where it's like, I'm assuming that I keep moving this way. So she's choking people out. We've got more guards coming in from above. You see they're on like the rappelling in. She kicks one, or does like a flip and kicks this guy. Punches him. Is she grabbing his bullets? What is she doing there? So she punches that guy, and then these are shells that have not been fired yet. I don't know if maybe she has some sort of magnetic force where she's able to like extract them from the gun. I don't know. And then we get the big sort of her just taking out everyone. I think at that point, I mean, it's still just kind of mayhem going on behind her. These guys have red masks. Is he in here? Hard to tell. This is a great stack of dudes, though. Really, really good. Man, this is nice. Oh, why did that show? Oh, this is cool. That's awesome. Look at the bird. He's like, what the hell was that? Oh yeah, we're gonna get some of this creepy dude. Yeah, I'll try to find the Doom Patrol stuff of that Tan and Twok guy. Or however you say his name. This is cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat. This is nice. Cool tech in here. I in particular like this with these pins. And this is good too. Sonny did some real nice colors on this stuff. I like it a lot. It's like he clearly can draw. Oh man, it's nice. Yeah, you can tell he's a colorist that's got some drawing ability for sure, 100%. Because he's kind of drawing with color on top of it and doing a good job. It wouldn't surprise me if probably now he works in like video games or something. I'm assuming this is the same colorist, maybe not. Or maybe Kenneth colored this piece. But regardless, the storytelling. So is this the end? No. Okay, good. This is kind of fun. It's actually really fun. That's a cool gun. I like it's white and has like a different construction than other guns that you might see. Yeah, these are cool. Matches her gear. Ka, 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 ka. I don't know if you can hear the crows outside. This is cool. That's nice. That's really cool. Again, excellently colored. Man, this guy is so good. Yeah, this is great. What a great panel. She's watching Nosferatu? Or something like that. Ripclaw. Is it? Yeah, I'm guessing that's Ripclaw and that's Ballistic. I can't remember her name. Psyforce or something. That's cool. Yeah, that's great. The buttons on this have changed color. Maybe that was the other glove. One didn't have a blue, and then now it does again. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. Oh man, he's trashed. Oh man, that's a cool shot. Wow, that's really neat. He's like in this huge, like, sort of robot. And then she's hopping around everywhere. Doing velocity stuff. She's working on him. That's cool. He's really good with her figure, like drawing it. He puts her in all kinds of cool poses, and it's always got really, really cool structure. It's like a very good archetype for that body shape. And he knows how to move it around. Awesome. That is cool. Look at that. Oh, we gotta zoom in. There's the little dude. Man, that is cool. She's cute too. It's funny. He's got nice tapered waist and athletic body. It's really, really good. There's multiple velocities? What's that all about? I don't remember that. Is there more than one of her? Poor thing. This is great. Really good. Very cool. This is nice. And then bam. This was the stuff that I saw. That's so awesome. The long neck. It's great. So classic. This is all feels Kennedy-ish too. Kennedy was the Aeon Flux guy to me, even though it's there was another artist that was sort of the, I think, creator of it, but that was Eric's like sort of connection when I first heard of him. Was he had worked on Aeon Flux. It was a big deal. That shit was hot. Dang. Oh, she must have killed like another clone of herself? That's kind of weird. That looks more like her costume than that, but the girl on the ground has got blonde hair and looks more like Ballistic, I guess. That is so good. Wow, man, that's such a nice shot. Perspective gets a little off here. He's very very big for being at the bar right there. He it's like he feels too forward. It's close. I'm not gonna mess with it right now though. I don't have time. But I was gonna say I could take the transform tool and sort of put him back where I think he would really be standing. But yeah, the blue button had vanished at one point on her thing. Yes, I'm thinking that's ballistic. These are good. This is nice. Oh my god, look at her head. That's interesting. He like painted the newspaper. Pilot season winner. Yeah, man. Sonny is good. I'm gonna have to look him up. I want to see what he's up to now. Oh wow. This looks like a preview or something. Oh, Rick Bastildua. How funny is that? Oh, Rick might have been inking it. Maybe Michael Broussard is the penciler. I don't remember what IFS stands for. This is kind of cool art. Oh, that's nice. We'll go through this fast. I want to see if there's more Rocafort. Oh, looks like there is. This is nice. Man, the coloring is great. Well, we need to move a little quicker. This video is going to be very, very long. Oh yeah, this was the one that was really kind of bright and saturated. So her head is still... Oh. It's a little dark too. That could be what it is, actually. Something like that, probably. And then darken the blacks. Yeah, probably looked a little bit more like this in the comic. It looks a little washed out. I think it's just a super bleached out skin. Yeah, because that's kind of wacky. Nice page. That is cool. We'll move through these a little quick. I think there's literally one more issue before this, unless they open completely outward. This is a nice little thing right here. Reminds me a little of Resident Evil. This is cool. So she must be a big movie fan. I don't remember that as part of her character. This is really cool. I like this. Her facial expression is great. Oh, it's coming apart. Oh man, isn't that cool? What's nice is, let's see if I can. I mean, a lot of times they'll see art and people will draw stuff more at this sort of angle. But all he really did to make it more dramatic for this shot, although he has turned it kind of a cool angle, is just turning the camera. You know, it adds a sense of just sort of excitement and intensity, and it makes you feel a little bit off balance and really adds a dynamic impact to it. So I think in the review that I did, I recommended that in a couple of the panels that the artist had done, because a lot of times it's not so much your shot, it's just that, or well, it kind of is, but you know what I mean? Like, this isn't that weird of an angle other than the fact that he turned it, you know, turned it this way, and then this turns this way. It's kind of got a rocking motion, which also, again, sort of creates a little bit of like seesaw thing, because this is curved this way, and then this is curved down. Yeah, play with your shapes, play with your shots. If you can do something simple that makes it more exciting, you know, by all means. Man, those boots are great. That is so wild. That is really cool. Look at that. Let's try to fix this up a little bit. It's so dark. Yeah, it's tough. I'll put a little more black. Nah. Yeah, just the scans are pretty fried. And here she comes. IFS. I have no idea what IFS is. And do we have a date? So this is 2010. Interesting. So it was a long time ago, but not forever. Let's okay, cool. All right, have a great day. I'll be back later this afternoon with something fun. And smash the like. Please share my videos if you can. I'm telling you, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, talk to you later. Bye.